I'd like to call to order the City of Saugatuck City Council meeting for Wednesday, October 9th. If you could all join me for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If the clerk could call the roll.
Anderson.
Here.
Baldwin.
Here.
Dean.
Here.
Gardner. Muncy.
Here.
Stanton.
Here.
You have a quorum.
Okay, mayor's comments tonight. I just want to give a special thanks to our city staff for the new infographics that have been coming out. Those look really fantastic, and I just feel like it's what we need right now to let people know kind of a progress report on some of our big projects. And I know it's finally time where you have time. Ryan has more time to, think about some of these things because we now have a full staff, and it's really nice to give people an update on all of our big projects. And I think a lot of us are sharing them online. So if people want to continue sharing those, I think it would be great. Another shout out to Ryan. His city manager report is so full, chock full of all the latest information. I feel like if anybody in the public could just read those mayors or read the city manager's comments, they would get up to speed on a lot of things. So I'm not going to steal the thunder from your city manager's report because there was a lot of good stuff in there. So go ahead, Ryan.
Well, thank you, Mayor, and I appreciate the kudos, and I think I frequently, do this during my manager's comments, but I just, our staff has a lot going on. I just want to, thank our staff team. I think about our city clerk, who is preparing for a big election, has already been very busy with absentee ballots and testing voting equipment and making sure everything's organized. I mean, customers are coming in every day asking questions and working through that process. And there's a lot to it. There's a lot of checks and balances in place, and Jamie and Sarah have been doing a great job with that. Scott and his team are preparing for kind of the end of season, end of summer, all those things that go with that, Oval Beach and irrigation lines, and they're watching all of these leaves staying on the trees, and they're like, wow, that's going to really push our brush and leaf pickup season a little later than we anticipated, and kind of that'll be kind of interesting with some of their schedules. And so they have all kinds of things on their list that they're working through. I think you probably saw in the city treasurer's report, and she has been just diving in and getting into the details and working through processes and thinking about ways to improve different processes and how we approach certain things. And so I really appreciate her due diligence, but also sticking with it. There's a lot to learn when you have all the different parts of being a city treasurer and a city finance officer. When you're handling all of those things, when in a lot of communities they're kind of siloed processes, there's a lot to that. And so I really appreciate her. Luke, our director of planning and zoning, has been doing this a fantastic job of diving in as well. He had some pretty interesting and somewhat complicated zoning matters coming his way right off the bat here, and he's been working through those very well with the support of our legal team and planning consultant, and they're always on it and there and available to help us too. So I just really want to, I guess, refer back to the staff team and all that they're doing and diving into, and they all maintain great attitude about things. Along those lines, I want to welcome Scott Morrow, who's a new DPW equipment maintenance operator on Scott's team, who love his, he's a local. He lives in Douglas, it's my understanding. And so he is, a part of this community, wanted to give back. He said today he's enjoying working kind of more first shift hours instead of those third shift hours that he was working previously. And he's loving the job so far. I really appreciate having him on board. I know I've already told you this twice, once in my report and once via email, but I want to say this publicly because anytime we get some dollars to come back to the local community, especially from Lansing, it's a win. But we were successful with our grant application to at least get some funding towards the very costly Maple Street project. So that's $250,000 that's coming back here to the city locally to help us with that project, which is exciting. And then our city treasurer was opening the mail, and we're going through some different checks that she had that she didn't know how to receipt them. And she's like, hey, I got this one from the Rotary. I'm like, oh, what did the Rotary send a check for? And it was for $10,000 to help us with the milfoil treatment and the invasive species work that we're doing. And so I knew that they, had some maybe interest in doing that, but it was a very pleasant surprise at the end of the day, actually. And I was like, wow, look, really pumped up to hear like our community partners giving back and helping us out in those efforts. And thank you to the Rotary. We have a Rotarian here. Thank you to the Rotary for doing that. So that's all I have, Mayor.
Excellent.
I know I can speak for the Rotary in saying that they love, we actually had a conversation today. We had a Rotary meeting today and the conversation was about partnering with our local communities in that. And they are looking for more ways to do that. I think that, that they're really proud to do that. There's more funds available and I've got some ideas about maybe Mount Bald Head erosion. So we're working on that too.
Great. Yeah, it's great. It's great. Okay, so any agenda changes for this meeting? Okay. Guest speakers, I don't believe we have one. On to public comment on agenda items only. Anyone in the audience wish to speak? Anyone online wish to speak? I see no hands raised. Jamie?
I do not.
Okay, all right, we'll move on to the consent agenda. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Mayor, I'll go ahead and make a motion to approve our consent agenda as stated on our including regular meeting minutes for September 23rd, 2024, special meeting minutes, September 26th, 2024, and the appointments to the Tri-Community Wildlife Management Committee of Keith Walker and Dave
Ignasiak.
Ignasiak. Thank you.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Great.
Madam Mayor, may I think that there's one date error in one of the, I think in the special meeting minutes where it said that Councilmember White talked about resigning on the 24th and resigned on the 25th. That's backed up a day. It should be the 23rd and 24th.
Okay.
So I would say maybe have a motion
That
to approve
correction?
with that correction. Yeah.
Okay. Anybody want to take a stab at that?
Does Gregory need to do it since he made the
believe
first
so.
motion? Okay.
I believe so.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and make the motion to approve the consent agenda with changes just spoken by Ms. Baldwin.
No.
I can't,
I
Okay,
don't think so. I don't think that's a motion. You can't reference in these conversations.
okay.
so making changes to the minutes, were they in the regular meeting minutes or the special meeting minutes?
Special.
The special,
Why don't we just pull the special meeting minutes out? Technically, you really should just, consent agenda should be motion or literally no discussion or amendments. If we have topics on the consent agenda you want to discuss, which I think, but we should, why don't we even have a motion if we can, Councilwoman Baldwin to pull off the special meeting minutes out of the consent agenda, we can go back to, be correct?
Okay.
Okay,
If you're
go
going
ahead.
to withdraw your motion, you can. Go back to the consent agenda.
So he withdraws his motion first.
I'll withdraw my motion to approve the consent agenda.
Okay. And go ahead.
Oh,
Oh, do
Ma'am-
I, sorry, second to that? Is there a
Oh,
second to
second.
that? All those, is that a roll call vote to do, we have to do a roll call?
You don't need to.
Okay,
Okay.
sounds great.
Right.
All right,
Mayor, I'd like
Yes.
to make a motion.
go ahead.
I'd like to make a motion to isolate from the consent agenda, item B, special meeting minutes separate for September 26, 2024.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All right, it's a roll call then.
You can just do a motion.
Okay. Fine. So all those in favor say yes?
Yes.
Yes. Great. Okay, so now moving back to the consent agenda.
Mayor, I'd like to
Yes.
make a motion to approve the consent agenda for our meeting, for our meetings as stated.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All right, is this one a roll call? Okay, this is a roll call vote.
Please.
No problem.
Anderson,
Yes.
Baldwin.
Yes.
Dean,
Yes.
Gardner,
Yes.
Muncy.
Yes.
Stanton.
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right, so then we're then moving on to the approval of the special meeting minutes from September 26, 2024. Do I have a motion to change?
Madam Mayor, I'd like to
Yes.
make a motion to approve special meeting minutes contingent upon correction of error of Mr. White announcing intent to resign on September 23rd and actual resigning on September 24th versus what it is currently stated as now.
All right, do I have a second?
I'll second.
All right, all those in, What's that?
Can I?
Jamie, I think Jamie has a
Ask
question.
for a clarification and a review of that. Didn't he resign on the 24th?
He resigned the following day of his
Resigned on the
announcement.
24th,
So
yes.
my minutes are correct.
He announced his intent to resign on the
My
23rd.
minutes state that Logan White resigned from city council on September 24th, 2024. Is when I received
was the
my
next day.
resignation letter from him, and that's what I was stating in my minutes, is
I
that's
thought it
when he
was-
resigned from council.
Let me see
Mhm.
here. I
My
thought it
recollection,
said-
it was discussed at the meeting and then the official announcement was made the following day.
That's,
Correct.
yeah. So, but
The
it-
24th.
there was a place in here, yes, he resigned on the 24th, but there was a place in here that said he announced on the 24th and resigned on the 25th, and maybe it wasn't in these minutes, maybe it was in a different section.
Do you know what, you know, you don't know what page it's on, okay.
I-
Page 7 has Logan White resigned from city council on September 24th. I don't see. prior date.
I had, so there's something else in further.
That
in
might have been in
packet.
the other minutes that he announced he was leaving, were in the
Oh, shit.
regular meeting
Shoot.
minutes.
Can't find it.
I absolutely
Page-
saw it when I was reviewing my,
I can't see it.
So page 6, Councilmember White announced that he will be moving to Holland, and as a result, will be no longer able to serve on city council. So that the date of that meeting is the date he informed council. And then the next day is when,
well, then I'll have to find it.
Mhm.
It's somewhere in the, it is somewhere in the packet. I absolutely saw it.
It's in the
So-
city council vacancy announcement,
Oh, okay.
and I think that's incorrect, actually.
What page
I'm
is that
sorry, what
on?
page is that?
Page 25.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, you're correct. Councilmember Gardner.
There it
yeah,
is.
The dates are just, yeah.
Okay,
incorrect
that's where I
in the
saw it. I
minutes.
apologize.
Aha.
Okay, I'm glad we have some clarity to that. Okay, so we have the motion, we have a second, and
So now I need to withdraw the motion.
The motion originally was made for an amendment, but you're withdrawing it. There's no amendments to be made. to approve
So I
this.
need to withdraw the motion, right?
Or at least just indicate you're making the vote. You're moving to approve this.
Okay.
After
Yeah.
Special minutes with no amendment.
Okay. Madam Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to approve special meeting minutes for September 26th as they stand.
okay, do I have a second?
A second.
And this is a roll call vote.
One moment.
Yep.
Anderson,
Yes.
Baldwin.
Yes.
Dean,
Yes.
Gardner,
Yes.
Muncy.
Yes.
Stanton.
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right, we will move on now to the staff reports, boards, commissions, and committees. City managers report. Is there anything else you'd like to highlight?
Nothing else to highlight, Madam Mayor, but happy to answer any questions that the council has.
Okay, and the treasurer's report. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to thank you again for the graphics. That was awesome. I remember about 2 years ago, we were getting those regularly. And was Sarah doing those at that time, or you?
Kate and I.
Kate and you, that's right. Kate did a wonderful job with those as well. And they were coming like once a month. So it would be nice to see that back into practice again. I know y'all been busy, but I think those are great. They're great ways to communicate to folks the things that all of us together as a council are doing for our community.
Good. Anything else? All right, the treasurer's report is in there. Any questions from the treasurer's report? Okay, moving on to the clerk's report. Jamie, anything you'd like to highlight?
We have about 30% of our absentee ballots back, so
Wow.
good return rate. And as
Wow.
of today, we've sent out, I think we're right at 347-ish, so people are eager to vote.
And Jamie, I know many of us know this, but as far as the write-in candidates for the school board, will we see a delay because of that? Or anything because of the write-in candidates for the school board?
We will need to review those names at the end of the night, so we will need to review all write-in ballots for that.
Okay,
We all
So-
have to visually, and we will have to record all those for the Board of Canvassers and the county clerk.
okay.
So-
So a little extra time and effort on that.
Yes,
Yeah.
it will be for all three of our jurisdictions. So the city of Douglas and the Sagatuck Township will have to follow the same process.
Mhm.
All right, any other statements, questions?
So don't wait up at night. Go ahead and go to bed. And you'll find out the results in the morning.
Right. Okay, we'll move on to planning and zoning. Any questions or comments on that report? Again, very detail oriented, and I'm loving to see, all of that from our new planning and zoning director. DPW, any questions, comments about DPW's report? All right, Sheriff's Department, I don't believe they're here, and I did not see anything.
No, not this one.
Okay, all right. Engineers report. Any questions, concerns? All right, moving on to the boards, commissions, and committees. Fire District Administration Board, I don't see anyone here for that. Interurban Board,
I speak a lot about it and, our numbers are back up at the interurban. We are also going to have the free shuttle service for Halloween parade on the 26th. We'll be running until 1 p.m. for free rides, including a loop that goes from the drugstore to downtown Douglas, starting, I believe, at 7 p.m. and going through till after the parade as well. So we have a constant loop going from Saugatuck to Douglas, and there will be free rides for that night. Interurban is pleased to do that every year. Other than that, you guys might already know that, we're working on expanding the building. That our numbers are back up to almost pre-COVID. And so we're happy about that. And our next meeting will be on the 22nd, Tuesday, the 22nd.
okay, any questions or comments? All right, moving on, Cal Lake Sewer and Water Authority, I don't see anyone here. Cal Lake Harbor Authority, you attended that meeting.
Yeah, so they met yesterday and unfortunately they didn't have a quorum. The folks that were there at least heard from a consultant that they're interested in kind of re-engaging. They had done some consulting work for them in the past. And so I think they're going to try to formally meet here still this month again to maybe vote on making a request to the municipalities to help fund a consultant to kind of help them kind of move some work forward, particularly maybe some dredging needs that the harbor has. So more to come on that.
Okay, all right, great. Zoning Board of Appeals,
Thursday.
Tomorrow. Okay. Historic District Commission.
We did not have a quorum for our regularly scheduled meeting last week. It's been rescheduled for the 16th of October at 6 p.m.
Okay,
And Planning Commission is on the 17th of October, following our special meeting.
okay, great. Any questions on either of those? Moving on to Parks and Public Works.
Nothing at this time. Thank you.
Okay, Tri-Community, non-motorized trail.
Well, just keep your fingers crossed and think good thoughts for our grant proposal for the traffic signal. We should be hearing back soon.
Oh, that's great news.
Yeah, they just updated their website that they've received really great responses. They're still reviewing. So it's the second time that they've had to update the deadline to kind of let us know. So I think they said mid to late month of October now. So good.
Fingers crossed on
Yeah,
that.
fingers crossed. Let's see, Water System Operations Contract Advisory Committee. Between the two of you, who would like to update us on that?
Be happy to, Helen, if you're
Yeah, please.
if okay with that. Thank you. So we have presented information back. I believe the city manager has presented information back to the other stakeholders in terms of the positions that we're taking on the agreement, and we're awaiting response to that. So we had a good conversation with us about 2 weeks ago now.
Okay.
around
Any-
that. So more to come.
Any questions on that? Okay. Wildlife Management Committee.
Well, you all just approved our two citizen representatives, and we're just waiting to hear from our counterparts on theirs. So then-
Yeah.
Then we'll move to next steps.
Yeah, really happy that those two gentlemen were willing to be a part of that committee. Keith has been a part of a committee prior to the pandemic. And they did a lot of legwork before then. So it might be, he's got a lot of knowledge of what they researched prior to that. So that should be good. Yeah. Okay, so moving on to approval of accounts payable. If I could have a motion.
Mayor,
Go ahead.
motion to approve accounts payable in the amount of $109,780.29.
Do I have a second?
Second?
Any discussion?
Yeah, Madam Mayor, the only question I had was on the last item, Telebrad, $7,500 for Oval Beach radios. I did not see reference in any of the reports, so I'm just curious as to what that investment is.
Yeah, so there was so this was something that originally was planned to occur at the end of last fiscal year. some radios that needed reprogramming and new radios that were needed to, for staff to communicate out there. So they got a quote back in March. And so at that time, said, well, if we have some, dollars available that are still appropriate in that overall, department, or we ask for a budget amendment if necessary, that be included. Fortunately, I guess delivery of the radios was delayed. I asked Scott just recently, that company that came in so late, and they just recently got the work done. So, we certainly have enough, in those line items there to, as a department as a whole, is appropriated to cover the costs, especially with the increases. So definitely a necessary purchase, something that's been kind of, I guess, put off for a while, and Scott's kind of been asking to have it done. So.
Yes, it's a replacement of current radios, not additional radios, is what I'm understanding, right?
Right. I don't think it's a bunch of extra. I think that's my understanding, is it's replacement. One other just correction I want to make on your report that's on there, there's an item under Kramer that's indicated that was for the village square. That's actually was the city hall irrigation. So sometimes when you go to enter a vendor, the description will copy over from the last time that you did it. And so it was, coded to the correct, line item and department but I just wanted to make that, make sure that you're aware that that's where that went, not that the description is inaccurate. So.
Okay. Any other discussion? This is a roll call vote.
Anderson,
Yes.
Baldwin.
Yes.
Dean.
Yes.
Gardner,
Yes.
Muncy.
Yes.
Stanton.
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right. No public hearings or unfinished business, no new business. That leads us to public comment on anything we wish to speak on tonight. Anybody in the audience or anyone online? Okay, so we will move on to our closed session motions. If anybody would like to take on the first one.
I can take it on.
Okay.
I move to make a motion to move into a closed session pursuant to MCL 15.268E and H to consult with legal counsel regarding trial or settlement strategy regarding the claim of appeal from the City of Saugatuck Historic District Commission filed by Maplewood Hotel, captioned Maplewood Hotel Corporation versus City of Saugatuck and City of Saugatuck Historic District Commission, case number 24-69059-AA.
Okay, do I have a second?
Second.
Okay. Is this a roll call? Go ahead.
Anderson.
Yes.
Baldwin.
Yes.
Dean.
Yes.
Gardner,
Yes.
Muncy.
Yes.
Stanton.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, closed session item B, if I could have a motion.
Make a motion to go into closed session pursuant to MCL 15.268E and H to discuss a confidential written legal opinion regarding the lawsuit filed against the city by Saugatuck neighbors, captioned Saugatuck Neighbors versus City of Saugatuck, case number 24-69537-CZ.
Second.
Okay. Another roll call.
Anderson.
Yes.
Baldwin.
Yes.
Dean.
Yes.
Gardner,
Yes.
Muncy.
Yes.
Stanton.
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right, and I need another motion for item 16C.
Mayor, I'll make the motion to move into closed session pursuant to MCL 15.268E to consult with legal counsel regarding trial or settlement strategy regarding the ongoing lawsuits filed against the city by Dunebridge, captioned Dunebridge versus City of Saugatuck, case number 21-64709-CZ, and Dunebridge versus City of Saugatuck, case number 22-65713-CK.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All right, another roll call.
Anderson.
Yes.
Baldwin.
Yes.
Dean.
Yes.
Gardner,
Yes.
Muncy.
Yes.
Stanton.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay. Okay, wait for Ryan. Ryan, need any further motions? Now that we're in open session?
Nope.
Okay. Correspondence? Any correspondence?
None for this meeting.
I didn't see that. All right, so then we will move on to council comments, and I can start with Gregory this time.
Yeah, real quick. For the last, I think 15 years now, I've been proud to help out the guys at the Dunes Resort with the Make-A-Wish benefit coming up this October 19th, where we make a wish, we raise money to make a wish for a special child with a terminal disease to make a special wish. A lot of people are familiar with Make-A-Wish. We usually raise between $10,000 and $15,000. Again, it'll be October 19th. It's a Saturday. I want to thank all of our merchants already who have donated. Maybe I'll be hitting up Retro Boats as well. But all of the merchants that have been donating, Henry gets all the donations in Douglas. I do Saugatuck. I'll make sloppy joes for 100 people and cookies, and we'll have the silent auction starts at 8 p.m. Drag show starts at 9:30. All of the performers and the bartenders also donate their tips to this cause. It's only $5 to get in, and I would love to see you guys there. We have a lot of fun. So if you're not doing anything Saturday night, please stop by and help make a wish of a special child.
Fantastic. Thanks, Gregory.
Nothing tonight, Mayor.
Okay. Helen?
Nothing tonight, thank you.
All right, Russ?
Can't remember last time I was at a drag show.
Oh, it's fun.
I know. Well, I did a high heel race over at the Pines Motel back in the day. So
I'd like to have seen
Yeah.
that.
I don't think they do that anymore. Just more of a comment. So applicants for the city council open seat are due Friday at 5 p.m. We must fill it by the 23rd of October. I know we've got a special meeting scheduled on the 17th. So how many applicants have we received to date?
Two.
Okay, thank you. Also too, just more continued comments and effort to get these on the agenda in the future. Get the manager goals and objectives discussion on the agenda. I know it's something that was discussed right after we hired Ryan, and we would do that collectively. We have not done that yet. Also would like to get more conversation about strategic planning. I really think the council needs to step back and develop a more robust strategic plan. So we have things to plan to. We have so much going on. I think we really need to be more strategic about it. And my last conversation at the last meeting was about ethical review. I brought up some specific examples of things I've experienced, and it was not met with anything. I still would like to put that out there, that I think we really need to have that updated. Also this Sunday from 1 to 5, chili cook-off.
Okay.
So be there. It was fun last year.
Sunday what? Oh, the chili
1 to 3,
cook-off
or 1 to 5 down at the Wicks Park parking
with a
lot.
rock shop.
Yes, with Rock Shop.
Love
So
that
it was a
band.
blast last year.
Yeah.
So I have no personal interest in the event other than it's fun to go to.
All right, Holly?
If I may, Mayor, can I comment on I was at one of the work sessions, I think when you had raised the ethical review. So our understanding is that I did assign my partner Lizzie Mills to actually look at some of the pieces raised by, I think it was Holly, Helen, and you, if my memory is correct, maybe not you, Helen, I can't remember. But so I actually did talk to her after that work session. For purposes of sort of a project timeline, though, we sort of understood it wasn't an urgency, but she actually is working on it. And we sort of expect to have it done in a couple weeks. If you guys need it sooner, we can do that. But that sort of initial piece that was asked for is actually under review by our office. She's doing that based on her sort of experience and practices.
And she is Lizzie.
She is Lizzie, yes.
Okay. Thanks, Chris.
You're
Chris,
welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
My comment is that, Ryan, thank you for going through what all the staff's up to and giving them some spotlight. It's great. We've got a great staff, and it's nice to know what they're up to, and it's nice that they have an appreciative boss.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, at this time, I'll have a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor say yes.
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 Adjourned.